Hello, welcome back. In last video, we have discussed about the default setting of Cura, that what is the default setting of Cura, and I told you you should not use default setting. So in this lecture, we will talk about how to set various parameters so you can print whatever types of print you want. One thing I have forgotten in earlier lectures, I want to just show you that when you set your 3D printer, one thing you also have to set, like I will go to machine setting, and here I have selected number of extruder equal to 1. So you have to go just extruder, and you have to put the nozzle diameter. What is the size of your nozzle? So basically we will use 0.4 mm diameter of nozzle, so here is 0.4 mm. And compatible material diameter, what type of material you use, I mean what will be the diameter of that particular material. Here I will use 1.75 mm diameter of material. So these are the two things you also need to select. So let's start. Here you need to just click on there. Now here you will see various parameters, like first is the quality. So in quality there is a layer height. What will be your layer height? Layer height means what will be the size of your one layer. Here there are many settings you will see at layer height also. You just click out to this gear size of logo, just click there, and you can find the parameters you want to select. So if I will select the here, then it will be added here automatically, like line width, wall width, outer wall width, whatever the parameters you want, you can just select here. There are plenty of options are there. There are lots of thousands of settings are there in Cura. As per your requirement, you can select the parameters. For you, all the parameters are not equally important, so I will put only those parameters that are very important and that will affect your print quality. And also I will tell you that what will be the optimum parameter you should select in that particular. So here I have selected initial layer height, line width, wall line width, outer wall line width, and all are here. You just need to go there. Here you can see the description that what is the importance of this. So here layer height, we have discussed about layer height, that if layer height high, then your print time will be low and your finishing will be rough. And if your layer height is low, then your finishing will be high and time will be consumed a lot. So the optimum layer height should be 0.2, as of 0.2 you always get a good surface finish along with the optimum time. Here what happened if you put so much layer height? If I will put there 5, then the color has been changed, it means it will not accept here. So if the color is changed, like red or yellow, you can see that the parameters, the value you has put is wrong and it will not be compatible for this 3D printer. So here I will put only 0.2, as I told you that 0.2 is optimum. Now the second parameter is initial layer height, that what will be your initial layer height. So initial layer height means when the first layer will be laying down, then what will be its height. So as we know that first layer is very important, and if first layer is stick properly, then all the upcoming layers will stick properly. So we just need that our first layer should be much thick so it can stick properly. So here I am selecting 0.3. 0.3 is the optimum value you should select for initial layer height. Now the third is line width. What will be the line width? Line width, it means the what will be the width of your line. So line width will always be equal to your nozzle size. Our nozzle size is 0.4 mm, so I will select line width is 0.4 because it is optimum. In this lecture, whatever value I am giving, you just need to put those values in your Cura, then you will find amazing results, that your print quality will be like awesome. Now the second parameter is wall, that what should be your wall thickness. Wall thickness, it means the outer portion, outer wall is called wall. So what will be your wall thickness? Wall thickness is again a very important parameter because the strength of your product will fully depend on your wall thickness. So what should be your wall thickness so that your strength will be high? So according to me, according to my experiments, wall thickness should be 1.2. 1.2 mm is the wall thickness where you will see the optimum results. What do you understand by wall thickness? I will just slice it, then you will see that 1.2 mm wall thickness. And if 1.2 mm wall thickness is there, it means one layer height is 0.2, so you need to print 6 layers. Here in this preview you just can see then how does it basically work. So here in Cura you can see how your nozzle will be gone through and from where it will be started and how the model will be built up, right? So wall thickness should be 1.2 and wall line count should be 3. 3 wall line count is good. As you can see here, there are 3 lines. Here you can see these 3 are the lines. That's why we are calling it wall line count. These are the wall line count. If I will put there 4, if I will put here 6, then you will see I will slice it and we will see that how does it look like. So here you can see there are 6 lines, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So this is how you can set the wall line count, that how much strength do you want. If you want a very good strength, then you can make more wall line count, but for optimum or for basic purpose 3 wall line count is enough. Here are only 2 or 3 parameters, but there are more parameters for wall line thickness. So I will just go here and in wall line thickness I can select like outer wall extruder, inner wall extruder, or whatever parameters you want to select, you can select here. Now coming to the third parameter, that is top bottom. This is the top bottom. In this top bottom section we talk about the properties of top layers and bottom layers, the thickness of top layers and bottom layers. The first thing is top bottom thickness, that what will be the top bottom thicknesses. So here I will recommend top bottom thickness should be 0.8 mm and the top thickness should be 1 mm and the top layers should be 5. So if the 1 mm 5 layers are there, then you can see that your strength will be high. Here again if I will slice it and we can see how actually it looks like. So in top you can see here there are 5 top layers are there and the top thickness is 1, and similarly the bottom thickness should be 0.8 and the bottom layers should be 4. So these are the optimum values for top and bottom one. Now we will talk about infill. Infill is a very important parameter and I personally feel that you should have a very good understanding about infill. Infill means, I can say, I told you in earlier lectures that infill is known as the density of your product. So if infill is 50%, then we can say that 50% volume we have our material and 50% it is hollow. So now I will select some of the more parameters for infill. I will just click here. In infill section there are many parameters. You need to select the parameters which really matters. Infill overlay percentage, infill layer thickness, infill before walls. So these are the some parameters I have just selected which are very important and which influence your product quality. So let's look at this. Here infill density is 60. So if you look in this model, you can see that the infill is very high and this model is quite looks like a solid. If I will put there 20, if I will took the 10 infill, then let's slice it and see how this model looks like and what will be your internal structure. Here you can see this is fully like a hollow structure and the strength will be less. So if I will put infill density 20, then let's see what changes will occur in this particular pattern. So here in 20 this has been sliced, so you can see the infill has been increased and it is looks like more solid. Now if I will do it 100%, then what will be there? If I will take infill density 100, it means your product, your model will fully solid and there will be no gap. For normal strength, basically we take 20 infill percentage, and for high strength or up to 60 infill also. So the next is infill pattern. Infill pattern again is very important pattern, because in infill pattern if you click here you will see grid, lines, triangles, cubic, octave, quarter cubic, concentric, zigzag. There are lots of types of patterns are there. So if I will select like lines, then our infill, the pattern of infill will be like lines, and the patterns of infill, every pattern of infill have different strength. So here you can see the lines will be like this. These are the lines. If I will select grid, then let's look how does it look like. So in grid, this will be like this. Here you can see how nozzle will work. So grid is something which have a good strength, and you should select grid. Sometimes triangle and hexagon is also good, but I always go for grid. The other thing is that infill overlap percentage, that how much percentage your infill will overlap. It means in initial we will see that out in outer walls there will be layers, there will be wall thicknesses, and in layers when we, and from those layers how much the overlap between infill and your layers. So if there is 10%, then here you can see that these are your outer lines and these are your infill, which are 10% overlap from lines. If I will put there like 50, then here what will be the change? Let's look at this, that what will be the change in your overlap of your infill. So here you can see that it has been, the infill has been come to here. So this is 50% overlap, and if I will put here 100%, then there will be 100% overlap of infill. So the optimum infill overlap are 10 to 15%. You should select in between 10 to 15. Here I am selecting 10. Then infill layer thickness. What will be the infill layer thicknesses? So it should be 0.2, as our layer thickness is also 0.2. So it layer thickness and infill layer thickness should be same for good results. Now other option is infill before walls. Here we are selecting infill before walls. It means firstly infill will be printed and then wall will be printed. Let's look how does it actually work. So I will just slice it, and after slice we can see that how you can see that firstly infill are created, and after creating infill the line would be created. So you just need to select infill before walls also. So the next thing, the next parameter comes is material. So I hope you got the fair idea about those parameters, and in upcoming, in next lecture we will talk about the remaining parameters like material, speed, travel, cooling, support, build pad addition, dual extrusion, etc. So thank you very much. See you in next lecture. If you want to learn complete 3D printing and make a career in this field, you can click to the link given in description box and start your journey now. In this course, you will learn 3D printing, also known as additive manufacturing, from start to finish. This course includes design of 3D models, slicing of 3D model, 3D scanning, types of 3D printers, HTML file formats, post-processing, 3D printing materials, and many more, along with assignments and quizzes. At the end of the course, you will get a certificate which will help you for your job interviews. The prices of course is so minimal that everyone can afford. So see you inside the course. Thank you.